there. You're watching Go on Shaw TV, where this week we are stepping into summer. Well, hello there. You are watching Go on Shaw TV, and yes, we are stepping into summer. July is coming up pretty quick. And even in June, we've got great festivals. The Solstice Festival, of course, kicks it all off, but it doesn't stop there. July 1st, we've got the Canada Day Parade and Folk Fest following up at Glenwood Centre. Always a lot of fun. And that same weekend, we've got the Okie Dokie Slow Pitch Festival. Always great, some wonderful music happening outdoors up at the Cal Davies Field. It's a wonderful event. And coming right immediately after that, on July 8th and 9th, we've got the Jane Austen Festival, the first ever Jane Austen Festival, where there are great plans afoot to have somewhere over 409, which is the current world record. 410 would make us the world record holder of the most people dressed in Regency in one place. That's a pretty big deal. We also have, I've got a cheat sheet here. The Kinsmen Soapbox Derby is happening July 30th. That's a great event that the Kinsmen are bringing back. Good on them. And the Sprout Lake Regatta, July 15th and 17th. And that is just July. We haven't even got to August yet, folks. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what's coming up in August. But before we do that, Jenny Fortin is going to take us to Canal Beach to an event that just happened, the AC/DC Downwind Challenge.
There's nothing quite like a relaxing day at the beach. It's a time to soak up the sun, enjoy your surroundings, and of course, have some fun.
It is gorgeous, absolutely, yeah. Like, we're so lucky actually on the island. We have lots of places to paddle.
But on this day, enjoying a relaxing day at the beach was completely out of the question.
There's definitely adrenaline. It's always like with any event, sort of some nervousness at the beginning. You're trying to have a clean start, ideally. I'm still learning how to do those, but you want to try and have a good start, because that can make a big difference, and especially with a lot of people, because you'll notice there'll be a lot of chop just from the amount of board motion that's happening.
Constant strokes and get low against the wind. Well, of course, bending your knees helps. Yeah, staying low, using your paddle. I mean, it's like a big brace. So you can use your paddle to keep your balance.
Paddle after paddle stabs at the water, and board after board makes its way up the canal. At this point, what started off as a paddleboard race has ultimately turned into a battle for survival.
Just put your head down and try and be as efficient as possible. It's just saving energy. You're just trying to get through the waves and the wind and save as much energy as you can while you're doing it. And it's not usually much that you can save, but every little bit counts.
Now, this particular race normally has the wind on the racer's side, but this year, Mother Nature decided to throw in a curveball.
Starting out of the gate, it was we had a little bit of shelter until we came around the corner, and then it was pretty much full-on headwind the whole way. There's little gaps in between, and managed to catch some little waves that had reflected off the rocks. That helped me out a little bit, but lots of work.
In the end, Jason Bennett was the first paddler to cross the finish line with a time of 1 hour, 14 minutes.
I mean, we came here to race, and that's what we did. And like racing in Port Alberni, they put on an awesome event, and it's really cool to see the sport taking off here. It's great to be paddling out in the canal.
But Jason wasn't the only one to cross the finish line. Congratulations to all participants that battled the wind and conquered the waves. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Jenny Fortin.
It was a sea of red and a night of celebration. Old friends and new ones gathering to mark an anniversary. The anniversary of a club whose motto is serving the community's greatest need. The Kinsmen Club that has served Port Alberni for 80 years.
We're volunteers, and as you know, Canada is built on volunteers, and we wouldn't have the great country that we do have without all the volunteers and service groups, no matter what is the name of the group.
The Kinsmen Club was created in Hamilton, Ontario in 1920, and the Port Alberni group received their charter in 1936. The beginning of a service club that has not only stood the test of time, but which continues to thrive.
I think we see service clubs do very well in towns that are this size. A lot of friends, a lot of groups, a lot of people helping out who aren't necessarily members, but will come out and support us on our projects.
But there's more to it than that. Kinsmen was originally conceived as a young men's club, limiting membership to those under 40. And although that restriction has been dropped over the years, the Alberni Valley Club still finds its strength through the recruitment of young members.
We've got some new blood that came in, and because of our association with cystic fibrosis, our new president, Jason Ferguson, wanted to be involved because of what we do for cystic fibrosis research, as he has 2 young children that both have CF.
When my son was diagnosed with CF, the club actually contacted me, and after that I said, well, if you guys are going to help find a cure, I'm going to be right there beside you. And after that, we've raised thousands of dollars towards research, had many projects, and I use my kids as a poster child to bring a face to the disease.
There's so many projects that we've got on the go that you wouldn't have time to list them all off. Even with the donations that we do to the Bread of Life, you know, it just goes on and on.
But even that list is trumped by the Alberni District Fall Fair, the one big event that most locals associate with the Kinsmen Club.
Oh, it definitely is. That's the biggest project that we do throughout the year. We've been doing it, well, for years now.
Family fun, camaraderie, and community service. As this Alberni Valley Club steps into its 9th decade, its mandate and its passion remains as strong as ever.
Whether it's a local community projects helping Bread of Life or Hospice, or national disaster relief, say the Kelowna wildfires, Fort McMurray fire now, we're there to support each other.
We're looking for passionate individuals who want to come out and not only roll up their sleeves and work hard, but have a good time and be part of a fellowship that really extends long after the meetings are done. I am very proud of my club.
For more information about the Kinsmen or the Connect Clubs, visit their website. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Nancy Wilmot. You know, I am always so impressed with the service clubs and the volunteers in this community. I've got to say, if Port Alberni is the heart of Vancouver Island, they are truly the heart of the valley. Good on ya. And also, the Kinsmen, of course, are reviving the Soapbox Derby, like I mentioned before, on July 30th. Great event, great community fun. So thank you guys for doing that. Now, we are still talking about summertime, what's coming up. What could be better than being out here at Harbour Quay on a sunny day? Well, I'll tell you, it might be watching the drag racers on Stamp Avenue on August 6th and 7th. Thunder in the Valley becomes Thunder on 3rd, or is that Thunder on Stamp? I can never keep the name straight. It is happening. Shaw TV will be there. We're actually covering the finals, start to finish this year for the very first time. I think it's going to be so exciting. There is, of course, a concert on the same weekend, Sweeney Todd down at the fairgrounds. It's going to be a wonderful event, fun for the entire family. You can find everything about it on the Alberni Valley Drag Race Association website. Lots of information there. Now, we have lots to tell you about today, so we're going to go right into another story. The sun is shining, so I think it's a good time to talk about solar in the Alberni Valley.
It was about 5 years ago. I did a story with Chris about his quest to build and install his own solar panel to offset his residential hydro costs.
We've had a solar panel on the roof that I built about 5-6 years ago, and it finally kind of had its last legs.
Chris says it was a fun experiment, but he's ready to move on to a new chapter in solar energy.
So the one that I built was just off of eBay and put it together myself, soldered it all together myself. So, you know, workmanship is somewhat questionable, and it's much less power than the one that I bought today. So the one that I had was about 80 watts, and this one is 250 watts.
Now, Chris might be pretty excited about his new solar panel, but it doesn't even begin to compare to the latest installation at West Coast General Hospital.
So what we've installed recently is a new solar array system. So it's a 124 kilowatt array producing about 100 kilowatts through an inverter to our main distribution panel. So yeah, pretty significant installation.
Significant seems like a bit of an understatement when you see the project in its full capacity.
So what we have up there are 407 individual solar panels that are connected through array strings that connect to 2 combiner panels. And through those 2 combiners, all the DC power, about 420 volts, DC gets directed down to the inverter, which is located in the main electrical room, and that power is converted to 600 volts AC, which we then utilize in the facility.
Now, I'm no electrician, but this sounds like a pretty big deal.
It is a bit of a big deal. It's a pretty sizable installation. I think it's the largest BC Hydro net metering solar system installation on Vancouver Island. And it's one of those feel-good projects. It's quite something when you look at the inverter, or you can go to our web-based interface, and you can just see that we're getting, today on a cloudy day, 65 kilowatts worth of energy from the sun. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and it certainly helps offset our peak demand charges for BC Hydro rates.
A solar project this big is sure to inspire more people to jump on the solar power bandwagon.
It's really, really great for the city. It's great for island health. It's really cool that they chose Port Alberni. And if you can build a house that has the proper exposure on your roof so that the whole side of one roof all points south, right? And then you plaster it with solar panels, you're gonna make money off of that. I think that's realistic now. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna get to a point, I think, where you'll see people starting to make those choices for sure.
And if you're interested in finding out just how well Chris's new solar panel is doing, you can visit his webpage. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Jenny Fortin.
Hello again. Today we're going to be learning more about the letter K. There are 4 Ks that we'll be learning about today. The first one is just a plain K, K, and kakawin is the first word for K. The second K you're going to hear today is the popping K, or K, and the word for that is kitlanus, which is a fur seal. Kitlanus. The third one is the rounded KW, kwa, and the word for that is quissat. And quissat is a stranger. The fourth one you're going to hear today is the rounded glottalized KW, and it says kwa. And the word for that is quiz. Hopefully we won't be seeing too much of that now. Quiz. True, we'll see you all next time.
The debris field on Port Alberni's waterfront was massive. Boats and cars, wooden structures and logs tossed like children's toys. And amidst the rubble, people, some dead, some horribly injured, with gaping wounds and missing limbs. Luckily, it was only an exercise, an emergency response exercise that brought home the reality of a large-scale natural disaster.
A 20-meter wave coming at us at 600 kilometers an hour plus will be phenomenally destructive. It will move buildings, it will move cars, it will move, obviously, people and anything in its way.
Exercise Coastal Response was a provincial initiative, allowing groups and agencies to test their readiness in an imagined scenario, a 9.0 megathrust earthquake followed by a tsunami. And Port Alberni was chosen as the site of the exercise because of its unique vulnerability to such an event.
When you hear the specifics of the scenario that they're dealing with, the specifics of the bridges that don't work, the people that have been, or the numbers of people who have been either killed or seriously injured, the services that we come to expect that aren't available to us, that forces you to think about, okay, how would I manage on my own?
And for Valley residents, many of whom volunteered during the exercise, that is probably the biggest takeaway: the importance of being prepared to survive at least 72 hours on their own following a natural disaster such as an earthquake.
So that's the point of the grab-and-go bag. That's the point of having independent communication such as a wind-up radio. That's the point of having the flashlight and batteries that work. That's the point of having extra clothes, extra food, extra water. It's really important that we consider this, because we have a 1 in 3 chance, approximately, that this is going to happen within our lifetime.
That 1 in 3 chance made the exercise invaluable for everyone involved. It wasn't a pass or fail scenario, but an opportunity to practice and learn, something that everyone in every community in British Columbia can benefit from. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Nancy Wilmot. Exercise Coastal Response was a week-long endeavor that involved 60 different federal, provincial, and local agencies in disaster preparedness. An exercise that tested everybody's mettle, saw what worked, saw what didn't work, and Shaw was there for the whole week. We're actually putting together a half-hour special that we're going to air right here on Channel 4, so watch your guide for it. You're not going to want to miss it. It'll be very informative. It was a lot of fun for us to be out there covering it. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine out here. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. You are still watching Go on Shaw TV. We are still stepping into summer. And you know, I would be remiss if we didn't start talking fishing, because it's the end of June. We're down here at Harbour Quay. Of course, people are talking sockeye. I'm here with Corey Jones of 3 Seas Charter. Corey, how big a deal is the sockeye fishery in this inlet?
It's a huge deal, really a big deal. Usually starts, picking up really big in about the 20th of June and goes strong till 15th of August. And then, after that, we'll start fishing our Chinooks. So, yeah.
And I've heard that the forecast for this year's sockeye run is pretty big.
Yeah, not quite as big as last year, but it was supposed to be still a good year, up to 1 million fish, and that's plenty. That's more than enough fish. So.
Holy simoly, 1 million fish going right by here. People want to find out information when they're biting, what they're biting. Who should they talk to?
Well, they can go to the fishing stores, Gone Fishing in town, stop there, or they can phone me at 3 Seas and give them the information if they want, or come down to Harbour Quay and check things out, and they'll get some info from the people around here. Yep.
I always figure hanging around Clutha Marina where they're cutting the fish up, there's a good way to get a few fish stories there.
Yeah, always stories, yeah, for sure.
Okay, Corey, I know you've got to get back to your boat. He was scrubbing the boat. He actually took a break from it, and it's pretty, good-looking boat. You've got to keep polishing.
Yeah, I got to keep it clean.
Thank you so much, Corey.
Thanks.
Now, there's lots more to tell you about. I just heard that Bill Surrey was here at the harbor, so I'm going to talk to him about Thunder in the Valley, Thunder on Third or Thunder on Snap, whatever it is, in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we're going to head out onto Art Avenue with Melissa Martin.
Welcome back to another edition of Art Avenue, again coming from another beautiful location here in the Alberni Valley, which is yet to be named, so I don't want to give any surprises away. Our current exhibit at the Roland Art Centre is Solstice Inspiration, and it's a wonderful exhibit which includes about 30 local artists. It's an invitational art piece, and that goes until July 1st, so certainly stop in the gallery and check out our marvelous exhibit. Also, children's art camps are yet to be named, but they are certainly on the horizon at the Roland Art Centre, again with our writing and creative writing workshops again at the Roland Art Centre. So those will be happening July and August at the Roland Art Centre, so more information will come out about that. And here's what's happening at Shaw's Landing. On Friday, June 24th is the Burying Ground, which is roots, country, blues, ragtime, a bit of everything. And Saturday, June 25th is Joe Stanton, his Vancouver Island tour. Monday, June 27th is Rachel Theron, and that's a quintet. And Tuesday, June 28th is the Novel Vaz Goodwill Tour, and that's a Cuban group. So certainly if you're interested in any of those concerts, stop by Char's Landing for your advance tickets today. Well, that's it for another edition of Art Avenue, but a couple of reminders before I go. The Jane Austen Festival will be taking place shortly in the Alberni Valley, and lots happening for this event. They're going to be having a morning brunch and an afternoon tea, as well as the promenade. So if you'd like advance tickets for that, contact us at the Roland Arts Centre, as well as registering for their Guinness Book of World Records. And another reminder about our teas on the terrace. They're a wonderful way to spend the afternoon having lunch with some friends and listening to some music, and those tickets are available at the Roland Arts Centre now. So until next time, I'm Melissa Martin for Art Avenue.
Well, hello again. You know, just like I promised, we found Bill Surrey down here at Harbor Key going in for coffee and a donut. Bill, Mr. Thunder in the Valley, what's your favorite kind of donut?
Maple bacon.
And a fine donut it is. Now, we were telling the folks a little bit about Thunder in the Valley. How is the planning coming along? Is it looking good?
It's looking real good. This next week, we could be removing the last median. We had to go to City Council on Monday night. So I think it's going to be coming up real quick, and we're going to expand the burn-up box because we found during our test that it was unsafe the way it was. So we are making them changes. We're working with the city. We are covering some of the costs, and you know, we want to make sure that it's a safe, fun weekend.
Safety is important, and it's going to be fun. A lot of excitement growing over the 1/8 of a mile drag.
Yes, there's a lot. We're full as far as registration goes. We don't have the room to park is what our biggest issue is. So we're working with Catalyst Paper, of course, and Catalyst has just been wonderful with us, and we can't thank Walter and his management team. They are just been super. So we can't thank them enough.
Well, you know what? I'm going to cut you off because I'm going to say we can't thank you guys enough for putting this on. It's going to be a great event. We're all so excited about it.
It is going to be a great event, and we want everybody to come and enjoy. Thank you, and we are going to make it a fun, safe weekend. So come on down and enjoy it.
Fun, safe weekend. You go on back to your maple bacon donut.
Okay, thank you.
You never know who you're going to catch down at Harbor Key, getting ready to step into summer. Going to be a great season. We're going to be there with you all summer long. Until we meet again, be good to each other.